what this really is all about is a new phase of the internet. The first internet was about information. Here's Google, and you can search, you can find anything you want, you can learn anything you want, right? The one that's coming up is the internet of experiences.
Leave your wet dreams at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome, Carl and Mike. I'm Carl.
I'm Mike.
We're here at the Corner Bakery Cafe in beautiful downtown Dallas. Why do I say downtown Dallas?
Yeah,
there's no downtown. Well, there's a downtown, but Dallas cities have expanded.
They have.
Matter of fact, I was just driving.
It's called urban creep.
Yes, we have urban creep, almost to the Oklahoma border now. I was driving, went to a little family get-together in Arkansas. Bull Shoals,
Was
Arkansas.
there banjo playing?
No. That's the stereotype, Michael.
Oh, you can find it there. You can find it there.
Bull Shoals is up by the Missouri border.
Northwest corner?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, north to northwest corner.
Yeah.
And
I've been up there. That's beautiful. We
Beautiful
went up to
up there.
Jasper, a town called Jasper up there.
Well, and Bull Shoals is right at the end of this lake that goes like 100 miles. So you get yourself on a boat and go. It'd take a while to go 100 miles. So it's a big thing. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful country. A lot of transplants from, Bull Shoals has a population of 1,950.
What? Why did you pick that area?
My brother-in-law lives there.
Oh, he lives there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just moved there from Chicago, transplanted.
Whoa.
As a retirement.
He went from Chicago to a town
Bull
of
Shoals,
what?
Arkansas, 1,950
Well,
people.
it's cheap to live there.
Tell me about it.
So
this guy bought a place. It was it was the house of a resort. And they've got a lot of them where it's a resort and like 4 cabins is a resort. Right?
Oh, and he's got cabins with the house?
Well, no, each of the cabins is their own house now.
Okay.
But he bought the house that was so it's got a house.
The lodge.
It's a ranch house, about 2,000 square feet. But it's got like 3 sheds on the property, about 30 trees in the front yard, a couple acres.
Okay.
Gorgeous piece of land, nice piece of land. How much you think? House, 3 sheds, 100 trees on the property.
150?
A couple acres. $65,000.
Oh, man.
$65,000.
And the reason for not buying that would be what? Even if you only went up once a year.
$65,000. Just get my head wrapped around that. And it's about a mile from the lake.
You're kidding.
No.
$65,000?
Yeah. Which the town really just is one street.
Yeah.
Little shops. Actually, it's kind of more spread out. It doesn't have its traditional town square like you have here in Texas. It's more of just a drive-through on your way to the dam, on your way to the water.
Oh, okay.
There's a big dam.
Now, how did he pick that place, other than the fact that it was dirt cheap? Because there's other places that are dirt cheap.
I don't know. He heard about it. Somebody.
Is he like lakes, or is he like to ski or fish or something like that? Oh, okay.
He's one of these guys that can do anything with his hands. He worked electric and building stuff. He's got a tool shed that make you cry. Can fix just about anything.
Oh, okay.
One of those kind of guys. Matter of fact, he decided to buy a abandoned building that used to be a motorboat. Used to sell boats.
Yeah, there in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he bought that property from the bank that'd been holding it for 4 years for $35,000.
Oh.
He's got a building. He's going to put a Chicago hot dog stand on one end, and he's going to call the other part things, etc., or something like that, because he's got 2 trucks of stuff that he's accumulated over the years. So he's going to sell all that, and he's going to rent the spaces out for people to sell.
Oh, okay, kind of an antique mall, kind of a thing. Junk
and then
mall.
on the back, there's in the back of this place is 4, slots for where they would work on the boats.
Oh,
so he's going to rent that out
for
someone for
fixing
cars
boats or something.
Boats or cars, either one, whatever.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the guy told him he could have turned around and sold the land for $70,000 after he bought it for $35,000 from the bank. So.
But why? You're going to generate a lot more money than that, real quick.
So there's opportunity out there, Michael. I'm thinking, this is not a bad. It's a good place. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go there 12 months a year, but the weather-wise,
You might.
you could.
Well, if you once you get the thing cash flowing, you don't have to stay there. You're just looking for mailbox money. You can move back to Chicago.
It's true.
You know,
Could be
whatever.
mailbox money.
Yeah, no, I think there are good places out there to live that are still inexpensive. You know, you have to, you
You
know,
have
if you're
to zig
lo-
where everyone else is zagging. Like, you know, go down to
Yeah.
Austin and stuff, which is where everybody's going to retire
Yeah.
and stuff.
You can't-
This is out of this world expensive.
Yeah. First time we ever went to Seattle, we went to a little island called Bainbridge.
Right.
And I called a photographer. I can't remember his name right now, but he had moved from Dallas, and he was a location shooter, you know, real
Right.
successful location shooter, but he decided to bail early, which was smart.
Right.
And he decided to go up there and live. And he said his big mistake in moving up there, because Nita and I considered moving there for a short period of time, is trying to resurrect the life he had in Dallas on a rural island outside of Seattle.
Right.
You don't do that. You just go up there and live that life, which I think makes sense.
Right.
And I had another guy. God, this was some backwater antique place that we stopped on and it was in Colorado, in the western part of Colorado. We were just driving through and stopped at this place. And this guy had this great little shop, and he had some antique wood planes, and I bought some from him. And I started talking to him about it. He was telling me he had moved there, and he said, when you move to a place like this, you just have to move and find out where you fit in. Don't try and make it do something it ain't gonna do, because
Right.
it's not gonna want to do it.
So not
You
have
just
so
find-
much preconceived notion.
Yeah, yeah. You
gonna go
you're-
with the flow.
Yeah, you're moving there for a reason, but you
Right.
can't bring what you. In other words, don't drag a bunch of your shit with you, mental and otherwise, about what these little town should be. And it sounds like that's kind of what your uncle's doing. Is he's figuring out.
Brother-in-law.
He's your brother-in-law he's figuring out how he fits in there. And
Yeah.
that's what these other people did on Bainbridge Island, which is a killer place.
Well, Bull Shoals, the interesting thing is it is a resort. There was a fishing tournament going on there when we were there. There's actually a lot of good restaurants because the business of Bull Shoals and the surrounding towns really
Yeah.
is tourism.
Yeah.
People coming to go
Oh, yeah.
in the lake and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So you can eat well in Bull
Yeah.
Shoals. You're not gonna have as many chains and shit like that. Though 10 miles down the road is
And that's not a bad thing.
10 miles down the road is a town of 20,000, and that has all that
Yeah,
stuff.
you can go down there and get your,
Right. So it's not too far away.
Olive Garden and your
You get your
Chili's
Olive Garden,
and,
go to the
all
movies, that kind of
bullshit.
stuff.
Yeah.
But what do we really do here in Dallas? How much are you taking advantage of?
What Dallas is? Not.
You could live in both. What you're doing, you could live in both.
Well, exactly, because everybody
I go
says
to
I want.
play every once
Yeah,
in a while.
yeah,
in
exactly.
concert.
People say you want to live in Dallas because of all the arts and the museums and stuff like that. Well, how often do you actually go? We don't go that often. In fact, more often than not, if we go to a museum, it's typically
Because somebody's in from out of town.
or Fort Worth. It's like I
Right.
took a trip down to Houston
So you're going
a
out
couple
for
of
the-
weeks
it's a
ago.
day
Every
trip.
time we go down there, Tom
Yeah.
and I go to the museum. This particular, and I haven't told you about this. We went to this show at the Museum of Art in Houston, and it was classic cars. And when I'm talking classic cars, I'm talking cars that there was only one ever made, and these are from the 30s, and
Right.
they're
Back when they had-
Italian and French, and you sit there and look at this stuff, and the craftsmanship is incredible, and you're going, how the fuck did we get from the ability to build stuff like that to what we buy today? There's like a world of difference between the two. And when you're stamping metal, you can stamp metal to look like these cars as well as you can a Camry or a Honda Accord, for God's sake.
I think it was part of the industrial age.
Oh, they were just beautiful things.
How to mass produce it.
You're right. I mean, I probably use Dallas as little as you do, or
Yeah.
what Dallas has to offer, and fight what Dallas is more than use what it's got to offer. And when I say fight it, I mean traffic and congestion and, crowds and
I was thinking, Dallas.
pollution.
You could eat at a different place in Dallas for the rest of your life, But I find ourselves going to you talked about in another episode of Habits of Food. I find myself going to the same. You know,
You got a rotation you go
place.
through. Yeah.
We got a Mexican place.
Yeah.
So it isn't. And then occasionally we'll explore a new restaurant.
Yeah, and
but
whenever
we got our thing.
Yeah, and whenever you get ready to go out to eat, you go, well, what do you feel like tonight?
Yeah.
You want Mexican food? Nah, what about Italian? No, I really want something.
And then once you
okay, what
decide
about Italian? Yeah,
food, then you decide the 2-3 restaurants you've been to.
Instead of going
Or
to
usually
someplace
sometimes the one. Yeah, I'm kind of in Thai food. So it's Asian men.
Yeah, Asian men is real good. Now, and when you go, you typically get the same, or I do. I typically get the same thing. I typically get the same things on the menu.
Yeah, isn't that ironic? We are really creatures of habit that way. So yes, we have, if I want Indian food, I got a place. If I want, so Dallas, a bigger city, gives you the ability to have all those different things. Though Bull Shoals at a Caribbean restaurant, so what the hell,
Yeah.
Even though there's a billion restaurants in this town, we end up going to the same ones.
Well, and I think that's why. And if you cook for yourself, you have the same kind of rotation, same stuff. Well, what about this? No, well, let's cook that thing. We haven't had that in a long time. It's the same kind of meals, and trying to pop some new stuff into that. So, and hard, and it's not hard, but it takes some. You got to stop. You got to stop the wheel that you're on, that we're all on, that just the same.
And you realize, not saying I'm going to go to Bull Shoals, but I could go there, buy a house really cheap, have a really good quality of life. There's opportunities in America.
Your taxes would be just like next to nothing, and you just it's not a bad idea.
And I'm sure there's lots of places like that. Bainbridge Island, it's beautiful. I've been to Bainbridge Island. Yeah.
Now Bainbridge is not. You're not going to find anything for $65,000 on there.
That one you ain't.
Not now.
Not next to a big city like that. You got to be further away.
Yeah.
But if you go out, and if you're 100 miles away from a big city,
and
there's a lake there, there's probably some deals there.
No.
There's basically deals there. You just need to look.
And they're all, for the most part, they're all second houses. So if you want a deal, you go there. If you want a real deal, wait till the economy crashes again, and it will, and pick them up cheap.
That was my experience in Bull Shoals.
Well, I think that's
good. It was good. It was
that was someplace different that you went.
You probably need to go to different places.
You need to go different places.
Open your mind up to get the brain neurons going. My sister went to Key West, family to Key West recently, and she said something really interesting. She went to Miami Beach, she's never been to, spent a night. She was amazed by Miami, and then went to Key West. And I said, so how was it? And she said, I'm on sensory overload. The colors, the beaches, the new experiences, and what have you. It was.
And where did your sister go from?
She was from Minnesota.
Well, yeah. Because when you think about that, the color palette is probably really kind of dull and Midwestern.
And there goes our Midwest audience.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Different. Yes.
Yeah, and you go down there and you got all these bright colors on the buildings and
the beach and the ocean horizon, seeing as far as
the water's incredible.
Yeah,
just beautiful.
And she said Key West was like, when you think of paradise, that's what it's like set up to look like paradise. Yeah, that's an expensive place to live too.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been to Key West?
No, I never have.
I'm on my list of things I want to go.
No,
she said you got to go.
I've never been down. We've been to the Redneck Riviera and the Panhandle. Yeah, the Panhandle of Florida. And that and Alabama.
So why is it the Redneck
Biloxi.
Riviera? Is it just the strip along the water? Is
that's
franchise city.
Yeah, it's a Redneck Riviera because all the rednecks from Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia
come on down. Yeah. And sit out on the beach.
When they're tired of wandering around the kudzu, they come down there to get out of it. Yeah, no, it's Redneck Riviera. It's what it's called. I didn't make that up.
No, I've heard. I love the name Redneck Riviera.
Yeah, it's real pretty down there. The water's really nice down there. Not so much in Texas. You got to fight the tar balls.
Yes. So speaking of sensory overload, so I've been, going with this new venture with Our Bold Future, which really at this stage is a Facebook page. And someday will be a blog.
It's a blog and stuff like that.
But I haven't blogged.
But it's something you're starting yourself.
And hopefully a podcast at some point. What I am right now is I'm a human curator of stuff out there that I find interesting. Typical curator just picks everything out and looks, So I've been really reading a lot about. And there's this company called Magic Leap out of Florida, and they're developing, what's called, you've got the 3 R's now. It used to be reading, writing, and arithmetic. Well, now it's augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. So augmented reality is where you'd be driving by a building built in the 1930s, whatever, in your car, and on your windshield would come up history about that building or whatever. Al Capone slept here or whatever.
Yeah.
Take any inanimate object and could give you information about it, because we play off, kind of augment your reality. It's the reality you're living in, but you learn more about your whereabouts or whatever. And you got virtual reality, of course, now, where you're just kind of plugged into this whole world that's been created for you, and you put on the goggles and off you go.
And they've got what, Oculus Rift, and then there's one
Oculus
other,
Rift,
and then there's another thing.
Meta.
Yeah.
It's just come out.
That's not cheap right now.
No, I thought it wasn't that bad. It was like $600.
$600-700. Yeah, but I'm not going to be twisting off buying that stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
So then third is mixed reality, which is what Magic Leap is kind of doing. So it's virtual reality, but it's real. You have senses. You can feel its presence and stuff. I mean, it uses.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I know. I haven't experienced it yet.
Well, now I've heard about that on virtual reality. They have to worry about some of the things they do because it makes you nauseous.
You can only take about an hour of virtual reality.
Yeah.
And then you need a break.
What is that doing to your brain? That's somehow affecting your little brain.
Absolutely going to affect your brain.
Is that like giving you a little drug hit, but it's a visual drug hit that when you take it off is not enough with your regular eyes and regular reality, so you want that again, and so you put them back on? I'm just asking. I don't know. Nobody knows.
No, I think virtual reality is at such a baby stage. It would be the equivalent of, a 1901 car with no roads. That's one of the things. Part of it is because it isn't all. Magic Leap seems to be going to another level with it. And really what I'm realizing from all this, virtual reality, augmented reality, and then mixed reality of Magic Leap, is one of the things about all of them is your desktop is now going to be virtual right here. And
so there won't be a screen. You just put the deals on and it'll see where you're pushing the buttons.
Right, and you'll be able to do all sorts of things. As a designer, it would be fascinating.
Well, I saw that with artists. They're thinking you can create these 3D spaces.
3D spaces.
But is it 3D spaces that you can then save and somebody else can walk through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So there's going to be that. What this really is all about is a new phase of the internet. The first internet was about information. Here's Google, and you can search, you can find anything you want, and you can learn anything you want, right? The one that's coming up is the internet of experiences. They just had the first virtual reality surgery, where this doctor in London was doing this surgery, and anyone with virtual reality stuff anywhere in the world could be right there, and it's kind of like
teaching. So
from a teaching standpoint. And Carl and Mike would be able to, at some point, do a surgery.
Yeah, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you are watching this guy do surgery, you're watching through his eyes, and his hands become your hands. So what you're doing is you're learning the expertise of what this guy is doing.
You're experiencing doing the surgery.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool stuff. So that's where we're going. We're going into we're really about to enter a life of lucid dream.
So I can drive, I could drive a Formula One car.
Absolutely.
Or a jet.
You will have the exact same feeling. Yes.
Oh, a base jump without. Now, see, that's the kind of thing where your body starts to feel it and get disoriented. And
it's an internet of experiences. You will have experiences. So yes, you'll experience a game, and it'll be very social. What I'm hearing people is it's even cooler when there's more than one person involved besides just you. You'll be able to experience everything from doing a surgery yourself to being crucified or whatever. Whatever you pick the experience.
Yeah. Oh, there are people that want to do that. Nail me up.
Yeah.
I want to feel that.
Come on, they'll be that religious.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like one guy described it as dreaming with your eyes open. Anything that you could imagine, you'll now be able to experience or create the experience yourself.
That's going to be interesting.
Because they said experiencing is one thing. Actually starting to make stuff, make the experience, is where it really gets to another level of cool. So we're going to be in this really interesting place. I almost call it like turning into a lucid dream, a world of experiences, whatever you'd ever want to experience or ever think about experiencing.
It's going to have good sides, it's going to have bad sides.
Everything does. The interesting part is, what does that do to your brain? You know,
I think
where you
it
can learn
completely
surgery.
rewires the neural
It's
stuff.
got to, because he says the thing is, when you're done, the memory that you have of it
Is there.
is as if you experienced it.
Wow. So it's a different kind of memory than going to the Cineplex, sitting there watching a movie. And,
Oh, totally. Yeah, because you were more actively, intimately involved in
Yeah.
it. It was a 2D panel versus a 3D. But this Magic Leap, it talks about, and they actually have using how they understand how the tricks of the brain
Yeah.
and stuff, how there's a sense of presence to it. I mean, I know this isn't real, but I can't tell that it's not real. So my brain reacts to it.
I
Even
mean,
if
is it going to be the kind of things where you're going to have gloves that you will be able
Oh, yeah.
to feel like the cold of that cup when I pick it up?
I think there will be that too.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll have
So it's much
sensory experiences.
It's much more sophisticated than Divine Smellorama. The scratch and sniff thing, I love those.
Or when I went to Epcot Center, we went to a movie, and they had little rats come through, and they had blue air on your leg.
Oh, no
It
way.
really felt like it. Yeah.
Oh.
Freaks you out.
It does.
You'll definitely have those kind if you want.
Yeah.
Interesting side effect, and maybe it's early, but can't really. Violence has to be the violence you have in a typical game doesn't really work in virtual reality. You have to tamp it down.
Let's say somebody like me, 63 years old, I'd like to do a bungee jump, but I really want to do it because I don't want the possibility of dying.
Right.
And, you need to be in pretty good physical shape to do
hit
that.
the joints to bounce off
So
the
all of a
water
sudden
there.
I put the goggles on and I jump
have
and
the
I go.
experience.
But the experience causes a heart attack because
That's
of fear.
possible. I
Yes.
think that could happen, absolutely.
Now, is it a virtual heart attack or is it an actual heart attack? It's an actual fucking heart attack.
Yeah, I definitely could see that happening. Then you can have a generation born into this. So think about their view of reality will be almost that anything is possible.
It defines what reality is. Reality is not really reality.
Except what happens when you get out of that reality. So you've had this experience, think about a virtual reality game that it puts you in a power states, and
I know, and that's
and
why
now
I'm-
you're out of that reality.
Yeah. And you're
What are you
nobody.
able to create in your reality?
You're nobody.
No, I disagree with you. I think it changes your brain and is going to affect your physical reality.
Yeah.
Because it's all vibratory in nature, I think.
Yeah.
I think who we get connected to and stuff like that, there's connections.
Yeah.
It isn't just random.
See, I'm concerned about it being like a drug where it's something you want more of. When you take the goggles off, all of a sudden you're in a monochromatic world.
But you won't be, because you'll drive with this car and you'll have augmented reality there.
Yeah, I know, but then you're never unplugging from it. At that point, you don't need goggles. You just need the helmet. You put a helmet on as soon as you're born, and that's it.
I still think that being in nature is always going to have its own appeal. Yeah, maybe if you're 12.
It almost sounds like the Matrix.
It is the Matrix.
Without jacking the hoses into the back of your neck.
Without that.
And without Keanu Reeves. That guy can't act. He really can't. What is the deal with that? Why is he in all these movies? It's no can-do Reeves, what the deal?
He's been in a lot of successful movies, too. That's
Huh?
the other.
Yeah, I don't
Been
know.
in some big ones.
He knows where some bodies are buried in Hollywood or something. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, it would be kind of like a Matrix thing. Yeah, it's real interesting, the possibilities for it, and fascinating.
Within the next 5 years.
Who's leading the charge on that? Is it U.S. companies or is it?
Big. I mean, Magic Leap hasn't even come out with the prototype.
What's the
hasn't
name?
Even come out with the product. Magic Leap. This company, Magic Leap.
Where are
It's
they out
Wired.
of?
I'll put it
They
on
in
links.
California?
No, they're out of Florida.
Florida.
Because this guy lived in Florida.
Wow.
And he originally started creating robots for robotic things for medical procedures.
You know who's leading the world right now in robots? Japan. And you know why? They're
love those
developing
little
all
robots.
these robots to do different tasks at Fukushima to take the thing apart. There's all these different kind of robots that they have to do
For the
to
nuclear-
decommission the nuclear deal
Yeah.
because they can't send humans in there, so they have to shoot.
can't.
And so what's
good.
really interesting is
Are they
'cause
fixing the hole?
well, I don't know.
Radiation?
Who
I love
knows?
how we don't hear that.
Who the fuck knows?
How much
But
is
anyway,
still pouring in the ocean?
last time I heard they were going to build an ice box around it, and I don't know what that has to
they're
do with
building
any.
real quick.
Yeah.
So they're building robots to go in there.
Yeah,
and
they're
fix
building
things up.
robots to go in there. But the thing that's interesting about the robots that they build in there, they have to build them almost like humans because the environment that they operate in and move around in was actually designed for you and I, for carbon units.
Right.
And so now what they have to do is when they're developing these robots, they have to do them in such a way that they can navigate through that space, whether it's walk up steps,
Right.
take an elevator,
Right.
whatever the hell it is. And they have to have these robots because they can't send humans in there. They won't last.
Right.
It was an interesting article how a lot
That's
of
very
breakthroughs
fascinating.
in robots right now are coming through that kind of stuff. And it makes perfect sense.
My favorite futurist, Ray Kurzweil, says 2020 solar power is now on the exponential curve. By 2020, it'll be the main energy source.
Good.
So-
It can't happen fast enough.
I'd say between now and like 2025, the next 10 years,
Yeah.
just really a convergence. There's like a convergence between artificial intelligence, robots, the virtual reality stuff.
Yeah.
It's all converging at the same time.
And as they converge and become whatever they're going to become, they're going to go, let's get rid of these carbon units.
No, you know
We-
what I
we don't
think
need
actually
that
it's
shit.
going to be? I think it's going to be, we're going to be part of it. We're going to be half human, half...
They're going to grind us up and use us for lubrication.
No.
Let's squeeze this body and see if we can get some lubrication
really
out
think-
of this thing.
No. Because all the intelligence they have really right now on our artificial intelligence is just trying to do the repetitive tasks that we can, so it's kind of limited intelligence. Okay. They're a long way from getting a thing to walk to getting a thing to think
Yeah.
and develop the complex emotions that
Yeah.
we have. And what I think will end up happening is just like we get artificial hips, we're going to get add-ons. It's almost like human body 2.0. And part of that will be stuff our brain is able to do way beyond where we're at. We live in interesting times.
We do live in interesting times.
And it's only going to get more interesting. So you want to learn more, go to Our Bold Future on Facebook.
Yeah, do that. It's
ArtBoldFuture.com.
cool. Carl's
Yeah,
got a
I'm
new
really
deal
excited
going.
about it. It's
Yeah,
really gonna be
it sounds good.
There's so much cool stuff
Yeah.
out there. So I'm just trying to, I don't know where it's going to go or what's going to happen with it, but I'm going to have fun
It'll
with
be
it.
what it's going to be.
It's going to be what it'll be.
Yeah,
How are we doing on time?
time to go.
All right, we did another one.
Yeah, we did.
Carl and Mike. So everything from Bull Shoals to, see, that's what you get on Carl and Mike. Bull Shoals, Arkansas.
Where you're sitting on the
Mixed
sitting in
reality.
an aluminum boat on the lake,
On a lake.
pulling a bass out with a hook.
Right. To
Virtual
lucid
reality.
dream and virtual reality where you're performing surgeries and
That's
other
quite a point
amazing
spread.
experience. I think we get points for that.
Yeah, we
You're
did.
not going to get that anywhere else.
No.
Went from redneck to transhuman
Yeah.
in one episode.
Oh,
Ooh, there
that's
you go.
good. Nobody can do that.
Nobody.
Nobody else.
Peace.
Out.